Is it a late boy? Yes, it is. Oh dear, the echo in here is bad. I didn't realise until I just started talking. Well, I'm not moving now. I'm sorry. You're just going to have to put up with it. I might be able to remove it post-production, but that's what you're getting for today. You can see I'm in a different place. I'm basically kind of on holiday at the moment, so times are great, but we just had a long old discussion, so I had to, family before podcast is my motto, so I had to put the podcast on hold. But guys, today we're talking about approaching 30. My friend Izzy, who was on the podcast last week, said to me the other day, she said the words, very casually in fact, "Oh, Dawn, we're approaching 30, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, did you just say that? Really? Did you just say it? And it freaked me out. It really did. I was scared. I did not like it whatsoever. I was like, take that back right now. And then she was like, no, I can't because it's happening. And I was like, so today we're talking about reaching your 30s. I'm 28. I just threw up in my mouth and it wasn't nice. It was very acidic. The back of my throat really hurts right now, so it's a bad time. Let me drink some water. That helped a bit actually. I think it's going to be another refluxy night. I think Gaviscon o'clock is coming. Oh, we'll get into that, talking about Gaviscon. Oh, I haven't even written those things down, but actually there's some quite funny things that happen when you leave 25 behind, and that is reflux mainly. The main issue is reflux. I'm forever drinking Gaviscon, and that shit is £10 a bottle, so it's factored into my weekly shop, and it's painful. Reflux is painful, but as in spending £10, not a week, that's a bit much, maybe £10 a month on Gaviscon. It's now a repeat prescription for me. I don't get it prescribed, but it's a repeat order on my Tesco delivery. That is a sad time, isn't it? Sorry. I kind of get it now when old people say, they feel young at heart. My grandma was like, I'm 80, but she doesn't talk like that actually. When she was younger though, when she was 75 maybe, she was like, I'm just going to use the same voice. She's going to hate me, but I don't actually think she listens, so it's okay. I'm 75 and I still feel 20 at heart. It's 20 inside. I might be old outside, but I'm 20 at heart. And now I get it, because in my head, I'm still probably the mental age of I don't know actually, 16 maybe. But the thing is, there's a lot that's changed over the last 30 years, 28 years. I shouldn't be aging myself. But approaching 30, and a lot of those things are good. Some of them are bad. We'll get into both. But approaching 30 seems like a big fucking milestone. And let's get into, my decades and my mental health around approaching 30, because it scares me and I don't want to do it. And it feels like a big step that I really don't want to take. But it's fucking happening. I can't stop it. So here we go. If you're also approaching 30, I'm 1994 baby. December though, so I'm quite a late one. So if you're in 1994 or 1993 or something like that, or maybe even 1992, you're approaching 30 just like me, and you're probably freaking out just like me. So let's be in this together. Let's go down this. Have you seen that meme where it's 1994 babies be approaching, and it's that guy with the tornado behind him, and it's your 30s and the tornado is your 30s, and the guy's his face is looking scared, and that's the meme, and it's quite funny because it's very relatable. I love a good relatable meme. Isn't that, I guess that's what a meme is, relatable joke. And actually I don't even know what a meme is. I think it's a picture and words, and that is a meme. But I've never really thought about it. I'm feeling in a very philosophical mood today. So memes, they're on the menu. Approaching 30, also on the menu. But it's also 11:45 at night, so who knows what's going to happen. I might fall asleep midway through. I guess some of this episode is kind of like how to cope with approaching 30. I feel like, I don't know, am I getting less scared? I feel like I am, but maybe I'm not. I think I'm realising things as I get older. I'm getting more knowledge as I get closer to 30, I mean. And it's seeming a bit less scary. So, yeah. Why is it... In fact, right, I haven't written some of this down. I feel like I've really missed out some stuff here. Okay, why am I scared? Why am I yelling? It's a fucking big one, isn't it? I think the main thing for me is I feel like I'm leaving my youth behind. I feel like I'm leaving my 20s, which I am, and my 20s just, they're supposed to be the best years of your life. But in actual fact, they're fucking not. But the problem is they're portrayed as the best years of your life because you have the freedom and you have the looks. I think that's the biggest one, is everybody thinks the time that you're best looking, you are the most happy. It's not fucking true. Do you know what? The happiest people I've seen are not 20. No, they're not. And I can tell you that my 20s were not happy. They weren't unhappy, but they weren't the best time of my life. And I feel more positive about the future than I do about my previous 10 years, 8 years as a 20-something-year-old. I think for me, though, I see 30 as I see it as game-changing, life-changing. I see it as a completely different era of my life. I see it as baby, wedding, settle-down era, like decade. And I don't want to do that. And I think that's what I'm struggling with, is I don't want to settle down. I want to go traveling some more. I want to, fuck about. I don't want to do some of the stuff that I did when I was 20, and maybe we'll talk about that. I was actually going to do an episode that was stupid shit that I did when I was X age, and then just go through the years and just laugh at my absolute ineptness at life, because I think that's funny. I made mistakes in the past and everybody has, so why not laugh about them? And they make great stories. So I will actually leave some of my I've done a lot of stupid stuff, trust me. I won't divulge all of it, but there's a lot there. And so stick around for those episodes, but I'm looking forward to making those. You better believe it, trust me. I've also just realised it's Tom's birthday in 10 minutes and I'm going to be podcasting. So what a great start to the birthday. We've got a great day ahead of us. This is completely irrelevant, but is it? I think, okay. The biggest change that I've seen since I've been like young 20s to old 20 is financial stability. My young 20s, I was a student. Fucking awful. I never had any money. But I worked a few jobs whilst I was a student. And it never really earned me that much, but it was enough to keep going, Sorry. Did I save anything? Not really. No, actually. I just made enough money to get by, buy a car, bought a car, and rented. So I've just paid somebody else's mortgage for the past 10 years of my life, which is really great because I could have been building equity, but I haven't been. So that's always nice, isn't it? Putting money into other people's pockets, so great, super great. I thoroughly recommend doing it for the rest of your life. And just relishing in the fact that you will die with nothing for anybody to inherit. So no, but I am very much looking forward to this 0% mortgage thing, because some people will be poor like me. It's not that I'm poor, it's that I'm paying $1,500 for rent every month to my landlord's pocket, to my landlord's mortgage. I'm giving them equity, fuckers. So it pisses me off that I can't get a mortgage. Well, I can get a mortgage, but I can't save for a deposit. This is such emo vibes. Oh my god. My fringe just went across my face and I look like a 14-year-old again. That I actually cut my fringe like that when I was younger, so that's what I look like. Wow, I'm really rambling today. So yeah, I can't even remember what I was talking about, but it will be nice. Financial security. Look, it will be nice as I get into my 30s to have more equity, to have more money, have more stability. And that is something you don't have as a young 20-year-old. And I feel like you don't, for me anyway, when I was a young 20-year-old, I keep saying young 20 because I am still 20 something. When I was a young 20-year-old, I didn't have much confidence in myself. I didn't really, I was very anxious socially about, not social anxiety, but about my social interactions, thinking, oh my god, have I said the wrong thing? Just overthinking everything. I gave too many fucks about what people thought. It just wasn't a good time. a good mental time, I wouldn't say. So I am glad to be out of that space, and I imagine there are some young 20-year-olds who are in that headspace and are having a great time. Why not? But I think the thing is, you make a lot of mistakes in your young 20s. I sound like a fucking pensioner. You make a lot of mistakes, but you need to learn from them and to grow up. But also, I was doing a video the other day. I was filming it, and it was, I hope it doesn't like ruin anything for you, but it's basically, in fact, I'll be very vague. It's basically, I keep thinking like nothing exciting happens in my life, and it does, but the problem is nothing really goes wrong as such, like nothing dramatic happens. And that's obviously, some of that is, well, I have a YouTube channel and sometimes you want dramatic things to happen so that it would be a good video. I'm not saying that's a good thing. In fact, I'm saying it's a bad thing. I don't want my mindset to be like that, but it's the way it pushes you often. And so the thing that I was saying was, nothing exciting happens, or nothing dramatic happens, I should say, and that's because I've learned all of the mistakes that I've already made, you know? Oh, Dawn, make sure if you go on a bike ride to take water and food and like tissues and charge your phone. Do you know what I mean? It's just like simple shit that you should do, but maybe when you're younger you just forget about those things, you're a bit more reckless, you don't really care, and then you suffer the consequences. And I don't want to suffer anymore, but that's what makes a good story is good suffering, good old bit of suffering. But like, anyway, there's a whole revolution in that story, the storyline in that video, so I don't want to ruin it for you, but go ahead and have a watch when it's even out. It's not out yet. It will be called like, I don't know, it's about a bike ride, so like the most dramatic bike ride ever, something like that. But yeah, go look out for that one. I think I've heard a quote somewhere, and it was from Casey Neistat, but he quoted it from somebody else, so I don't know who it was quoted from. I'm not claiming the rights to it, I'm just using it, alright? And it was something like, you spend your 20s learning life, or something like that. You spend your 30s practicing, and you spend your 40s living, or something like that. Anyway, it was a fucking great quote, and it made me think life does not end at 30. I think one of the biggest things in my head is I'm always like, oh my god, then I'm 30, then I'm 40, then I'm 50, then I'm 60, and then I'm an OAP. And my head literally just counts up like that, as if 10 years will blink by, because everybody's always like, life's so short, and I'm like, shut the fuck up, because I don't want to hear it. I don't want you to tell me that life's so short. I already know that. Don't fucking remind me. So I tell people to shut up when I hear that. I'm like, I don't want to hear it, thanks, because I already know, and I don't need reminding. But also, I don't think life is that short. Remember all of those. Okay, let me go back to a bad time when I had to work at JD Sport. And if you're from a different country that doesn't have JD Sports, congratulations, because it's like the chaviest place you could ever work. And if you don't know what chav is, please just like Google it in Urban Dictionary or something. It's basically, I don't even know what you'd call it, like kind of council estate-y vibes. I feel like the Extractor fan is on, but I also can't be asked to go and turn it off, so I don't know. So what was I even talking about? Can't remember. Oh my god. The Extractor fan just distracted me so much. The Distractor fan, maybe I should call it, that I have no idea what I was just talking about. Like literally no idea whatsoever. So that's depressing. I'll probably remember. It's also really late, so I'm fucking tired, not gonna lie. I've had a really busy day. Let me see if I can remember. You spend your 20s learning it, you spend your 30s living it, you spend your practicing it, then you spend your 40s enjoying it. That was it. That was the wrong phrase. Then I started talking about chavs, and I don't know why. JD Sports. Okay, JD Sports is a chavvy shop, and I do this all the time. It's actually a nightmare. Like, my mind just leaves onto a different tangent, and I have no idea how I got there. And then I'm like, fuck, what was I even talking about? So it's a real problem for me. I don't quite know how I'm getting over it, because I'm not making any steps to improve myself there. Not yet, anyway. I'll get there eventually. I've got plenty of other things to occupy myself with in the meantime. So, I worked at JD Sports. Definitely the worst place I've ever worked in my life. Like, please never send me back there. It's like a torture camp. And it's basically full of like loads of chavvy people that wear like tracksuits and live on council estates. It's kind of chav, what a chav is. And why was I don't even know what the story was now. That's the problem. Fuck. I'm having a really bad time. I don't know, but I'll make a new story out of it. I mean, the shit thing about that was that I was working for £5 an hour, and I am not fucking joking. I work as a doctor now, a locum doctor. I earn significantly more than that. I can't even imagine working for £5 an hour. Like, I know that makes me sound really snobby, but I used to buy lunch, like buy a meal deal, and think, fuck me, I've just paid an hour of my wage, an hour of my life just to buy food. What a fucking shit show. I don't remember what the actual story was, but that was quite a good one. Anyway, so, God, I'm a nightmare. So yeah, I don't particularly feel sad about leaving my young 20s behind. I feel more sad about the significance that it holds. The fact that we celebrate youthfulness and celebrate youngness. Same thing, Dawn. And we don't really celebrate elderliness, oldness, although we definitely should, because old people are wiser. I am wiser than I once was, for fucking sure. Oh my god, the amount of mistakes I made when I was a young person. And I have heard that it gets easier as you get past. So like after 30, you're like, meh, whatever. And then it gets to 40 and you're kind of not that bothered. You kind of forget your age. And then you just forget, you stop counting after that. So, oh god, my fucking burps are a nightmare. So I feel like maybe once we've got past this one big hurdle, it's going to be fine after that. You know, we're not going to be like going through the same issues over and over again. I have never heard anybody say to me that, oh my god, 30 was fine, but 40, oh my god, so much worse. I think once you get to that point, you're kind of like, fuck it, whatever. And also maybe you crave a bit more like stability again, because once you leave your 30s, you then go to your 40s, and you know, you've got even more stability. The older you are, the more stability. Generally, if you look after your wealth anyway, the more stability you have. I had no stability as a young teenager, adolescent, child, whatever, because my family doesn't have any equity, so it's fucking shite. But for people who have equity or have rich parents, they don't really have that issue, but I did. And so the more time I have to build up equity and money, I still don't actually feel like I've got any equity. Or I do own a car, but it's probably worth like $2 or $3. Like, it's not that much in the grand scheme of things. So yeah, the more time you have, the more money you have, the more money you can accrue, and as a result, you are more stable, and that's always a good time. I feel like the scary thing that happens when you go from your 20s to your 30s, not for everybody, only if you're a late childbearing woman. There are people obviously who are having children in their 20s or maybe even before that, and that's fine, you do you. But a lot of people now are opting to wait until their 30s. So for me, and I'm doing another episode about having babies because this is a fucking scary thing. Everybody's having babies. If you're somebody who's approaching your 30s and all your friends around you, or people on Facebook, you know, your Facebook friends, maybe not your actual friends, people that you know are all posting their bloody baby pictures, born 13, 11, 23, and you're like, shut up. Sorry, that was mean. Some people, I was going to say nobody cares, but like some people do care, but it's like, I don't care what day it was born, but then I think some people would care, you know, like if you've got your mum on, maybe not mum, but like auntie or something on Facebook, they are going to want to know the date, but I don't, and I also don't care how much it weighed. So, like, you don't need to tell me. The picture's fairly useful. I would quite like to know what your baby looks like, because I don't think they're all that good looking. And also, I do like to ponder, is it yours biologically? That's my question. Not that I'm against people adopting or whatever, but I'm like, I don't know, you just think, does it look like them? As in, does it look like the dad? That's the main thing. I don't care if you use surrogacy or whatever. I literally don't care. Like, you as in not, I don't care, not care in a bad way. I just don't mind. Like, I don't mind, I should say. I don't mind. I'm not bothered. But it's weird seeing people that I went to uni with. None of my close friends have had babies yet, nor are any of them married or pregnant. So I feel like I'm in a very weird subsection of society where none of my I'm talking about my close friends, like people that I speak to every week, that I see maybe every week, or at least I speak to them every week and arrange to see them. You know, the people that I see on Facebook, like, I know them, but I don't speak to them. They're just there. They just exist. Like, they're doing their own thing. If I saw them in the street, I'd say hi, but I'm not messaging them. I might not even give their baby photo a like on Facebook. That's how little I do not mind. I feel mean saying I don't care about people's babies. Do I though? Yeah, I do feel a bit mean. It's like if I said I didn't care about someone's dog, like, that would be mean. But yeah, I think I'm going to get to that weird stage where people are going to start having babies, like, in my close circle, as in people that I fucking know well, that I would ring up and they wouldn't be like, why are you ringing me? Happy birthday! I am podcasting though. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tom. Happy birthday to you. Oh yeah. That's going to be on camera now. Look, you consented to being filmed when you walked on the film studio set, okay? So I'm talking about approaching 30. I know. And what that means and why it's scary and how to be less scared by it. You got any comments? Oh, no, that's not reassuring. Say another comment. Tom! So my boyfriend is now 26 as of 4 minutes ago. So he's also approaching 30, but less acutely than I am. 28, yeah, I got a cougar. Tomboy, literally. So I'm sorry, that was very distracting, but I thought I'd keep it in there, just keeping it real, you know? That's just singing happy birthday. Kind of ironic because I'm doing an episode on turning 30. So yeah, Tom doesn't like being on camera, so that's a rarity that he would ever come on. So that's pretty cray. But yeah, people are starting to have children and I am freaked out. But I am scared for when my close friends start having, and people are going to listen to this now and be like, oh, I've got a baby. I'm obviously not Dawn's close friend. No, you're not. I'm sorry. I don't know anybody that is my close friend. We're talking fucking close. Like sardines. What you might call BFFL. When I was in my young 20s, you might call them that. But now I just call them my close friends. So maybe my best friend. I don't know. Sounds really childish. Just say my best friend. So yeah, none of my close friends have had babies. I do know some people that are were close to in the past, have had babies, but I don't talk to them that often. You know, we might see each other on fleeting occasions, but nothing more than that. And I know a lot of doctors in the hospital, oh my god, who have got babies. I'm like, it feels like doctors they're all sprouting, like they're all having babies. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I've gotten to that age, or it just seems like they're all fucking having babies. Like, chill out. Like, what's going on? Although, if doctors are gonna have babies, there definitely could be worse people having babies. Like, hopefully, the baby's gonna be financially supported and, emotionally supported is also important. So, yeah, I am scared to have children. And like I said, I will do one of the next few episodes on having bebé, because I held a bebé the other day. Or I kept calling it el bebé, Spanish, el bebé. And people were like, what is that? And I was like, can you not figure it out? Like, el bebé. Bebé? It's like from Bridget Jones. El bebé. I just couldn't figure out how nobody knew what I was saying, and there was a fucking baby there. I was like, are you stupid? So I feel like there's a lot of things that I haven't figured out before my 30s. Maybe I should do one of those bucket lists. 30 things to do before I'm 30. Although I don't know if I have the energy to do them, so I also don't want to be too ambitious. And also I don't have that much money. So, and also I don't know what I want to do. I do know what I want to do, but I don't know if it's possible before I'm 30. So maybe I should do that. But also the things that I want to achieve are like long-term goals. They're not like things, well, I have to make up small things, wouldn't I? Like really superficial things, like I want to go see Niagara Falls or something like that. I couldn't be like, I want to I don't know, have a great life, a great husband. Oh my god, I rang someone up today and I called Tom, my partner, and they replied with, so is your husband blah blah blah? And I was like, I didn't even correct them. I was like, can't be asked. So that's the scariness of the situation when you're approaching your 30s, is that people say husband and you don't correct them. It's just too much effort. So if you were 25, you'd be like, wait there, no, sorry, he's only my boyfriend. When you're nearly 30, changes. You're like, yeah, husband, that's the one. Yeah, my husband, me and my husband. I haven't got my career sorted. I do work as a doctor, yes, but I don't call it a career. I don't feel like it's a career because I'm not making it a career. That's why. That's an active choice right there. So don't think that being a doctor is not a career. It certainly is. But the issue for me is that I have no intention on doing it long term / significantly, turning into a consultant. I just don't not see the point. That's not my goal. That's not my goal in life. I never want to admit to my goals because I always feel like they're fucking stupid. My goals, I always feel like they're really ambitious as well. So when I say them out loud, I always tone them down a bit because realistically, I'd love to be like, would I? No, not red carpet, A-list is what I was thinking, A-list actress. I would like to be an actress, but I don't think I want to be red carpet. Or no, you still have red carpets, but not be A-list. I don't think I want to be A-list. I want to be able to walk down the street and exist as a normal human. But why? Wait there. I think we're getting into a whole different realm here. Because it's like, do I want to be famous? Is that what I want? Or why can't I just be an actress? I don't know. I do know, but I don't like to, again, admit it. I don't like to admit that I want money. That's what I don't like to admit. I just don't. I don't want to admit that I am a sucker to capitalism. I don't want to admit that I would like to... See, I can't even say it straight. I'm like, do I want to be famous? Maybe a little bit. I don't know. I don't like to say it. It makes me feel icky. I don't like it. But I guess it's kind of true. I'm sorry. I'm admitting it. It really troubles me. It does. It's like saying, I want to win a Nobel Prize. Like, it feels ridiculous to say it, but it also feels ridiculous to say I want to be a B-list actress. I don't know if that's a thing, but that's what I made up. By B-, maybe. I'll be a B- celebrity. And I want to be like known, but not too known. But I don't know if you can control that. I think you can. I think you can just leave the limelight for a bit and then come back. But do I want to be famous? I don't know. This is a big question in my head. It's like, what am I aiming for with this whole thing? At the moment, my aim is just to create and see what happens. That's my aim. That's my situation. That's what I'm doing. I'm not like, I'm gonna be fucking famous and that's what I'm going for. I'm just, at the moment, I'm forgetting about subscribers. I'm forgetting about numbers. I'm forgetting about views. I'm not even thinking about a average view duration. Honestly, there's fucking loads of statistics that you can look at and they make you depressed. But I'm just thinking about what makes me happy. And what makes me happy? Creating stuff. Feeling like I'm helping people. I know that sounds really corny, but I do. I like to think that me sitting here telling you about my fucked up mind but my life situation and relating to you guys. And I also just want to give you guys a shout out right now because I can obviously see the stats and I am very thankful for you guys listening. Honestly, I hope that I help you, and if I do, give me a comment because honestly, I don't think you realise how much I love it. And that's not because I need to feel validated, but it's because, well, maybe it is, but it's mainly because I like to know, I like to feel connection to you guys. I do reply to all of my comments at some point. And I also, I don't know, it's just nice to know that I've helped you or that you're enjoying it. And I can see there are some people that come back time after time and listen to my podcast, and I fucking love you. I don't know your names. I don't know anything about you. I might know what country you're from and how long you've listened for, but that's it. But honestly, like, I just want to thank you right there, because as I approach 30, you're coming along the journey with me. I am also amazed. I'm just going to give you a little insight into my analytics right here. I'm amazed, right? My watchers on my YouTube channel / listeners on my podcast, the stats are kind of the same. I am very shocked to know that my male to female ratio is 50-50. I can't believe that. I genuinely would have thought that my female audience, I would have a more female based audience, but I'm shocked to find out that that is not the case. And I was like, really? Is this correct? Because it just, I don't know, I just feel like I would maybe have more females. And that's not me saying that men can't watch my stuff, but it's like, I was also shocked at the fact that my age range is 18 to 44. Like, that's like, obviously people above that watch my stuff, but the most people are 18 to 44. And I just think, like, I just can't imagine like a 40-year-old sitting I just think I'm too fucking goofy, but a 40-year-old sitting and watching me, I don't know. Like, I think that says more. I don't want you to think I'm saying anything about, like, I can't believe a 40-year-old watches a YouTube podcast. That's not me saying that. That's me saying I can't believe that people sit down and watch me or listen to me. It's very humbling. It's very nice. That's a shit word, isn't it? Nice. It's so nice. It is nice though. Like, it's a shit word, but that's the first word that came to my mind. It's nice. It's very touching. Not in an illegal way. Oh my god, what just happened there? That was going to be a joke, but I then fucked it up. Not in an illegal way. Kind of lost the joke, but didn't. So I think a lot of people can you could take that the wrong way. Me being like, I can't believe my men listen to my content, and 18 to 44. That's not me saying it in a bad way. Trust me, daddy. It ain't. I am just, I don't know. My age range is so broad. Like, when I think about my audience, this is completely off fucking topic, but I'm having a good time talking about it. So when I think about my audience, I think it's just my friends. Like, literally, I just think, oh, it's probably just Izzy, Holly, and maybe a couple of other people that have found my content because I've shared it on Facebook or whatever, and they go, oh, that's interesting. Like, what does Dawn do? And like, people that are literally people that I know, and that's it. And I can't even fathom that people that I don't know listen to me and whatever. So there we go. That was a 5-minute off-topic ramble. I can't even believe that people listen to me when I don't fucking talk in a linear fashion whatsoever. I don't know whether it's problematic. Maybe that could be your comment. Let me know if my tangential thinking is problematic. I don't know if I can change it. I really don't. I think someone would have to pay for a lot of therapy for me to be able to change that. Like, I just find it very hard, and sometimes I don't even finish my sentences. I have to actively stop myself and be like, no, Dawn, you have to finish that sentence, otherwise no one will know what you're talking about. And the whole point is that you talk and people understand you. So maybe that could be one of my 30 things to do before I'm 30. Have a 30-minute podcast session and say 30 things that I love about myself and not stray off topic whatsoever. But I also think, like, it's kind of a conversation. I'm having a conversation with you. I actually do feel like I'm talking to you. I don't know why. I know that I'm not, but I guess I am. But I know that I'm not physically, like it's a camera. But it does feel like I'm having a conversation. So, and that's how conversations go. They aren't just like, it's not a meeting. Like, they don't just go point A to point B and that's the fucking end. Like, we are going to go, like, something's going to trigger a memory and you're going to go, oh my God, like, sorry, just to go off topic, but this, blah, blah, blah. And that's what happens. So, yeah, we're just having a convo, and this is just what happens in convos. The end. Wowzers. Okay, I'm only on point 4. I'm not going to lie, though, there are only 7, so don't worry. I've written children, career, and house. Okay, so I was saying I don't have a career. Yeah, and then I started talking about being a doctor. Oh God, I really went off on a tangent there, didn't I? I've just realised the whole tangent that I went off on. So yeah, it was like doctor, no career, and then it was like actress, B-list, my B- celebrity, and then I was shouting out the love to you guys. So yeah, I don't see myself being a consultant ever, period, full stop. I just don't. It's not my goal. And I don't know. I think I have a lot of goals. Being a consultant is not one of them. So I feel like I'm in a really bad position here. Oh, just put a pillow behind my back and it is fucking comfortable. I thought I was going to come out with something a bit more witty and then comfortable came out. So that's what happened. So, yeah, career is not sorted for me, but I don't see that as a bad thing. I'm sort of like milling about. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm happy doing what I'm doing, making YouTube videos, making podcasts, having a good time, retraining as an actress, potentially, maybe failing at that, and seeing what happens. And then if worse comes to worse, this is the best thing about it. If worse comes to worse, I just go and be a doctor again. Mind blown right there. The next thing is house. I don't even know if that's going to happen anytime soon, to be honest. And actually, I think what I've realised is everybody's like freaking out about being able to pay their mortgage. I don't have a mortgage, and I'm like, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe I am the one that is living the dream right here. So that is a great time. I'm also thinking all the things that are going wrong with my house at the moment in terms of how old it is and all the things that are falling apart and how much that might cost. Oh my God. But then also, you know, I would like to have my own house that I can actually change, because my house at the moment is just like a dead pit of despair. It's like a white box, like a prison cell that you can't change, and you know, can't really paint. You can do things to it, but I'm not putting it back after. I'm not painting something to fucking paint it back. Like, you can piss off. I'm not doing it. And I got burnt in the last place, you know, charging me ridiculous amounts for not removing a fucking compost bin. So I am against making any kind of improvements to that place, and it's just dead. It's a dead shell, and it's got no interior design whatsoever, and that really upsets me. I know it sounds silly, but it does. It, like, when I film in here, I'm like, God, everything looks so great. And I know it's not just about what it looks like in films. It's like the ambiance, but also that's just like a side effect of it. You know, I'm filming and I'm like, oh, this is really nice. It just looks nice, you know? Whereas our place just looks like shit. It looks like an actual fucking shithole, like a hostel. And it's got no character. It's got nothing, like no colour. It's got some pictures on the wall, but I'm not putting any more nails up in case I get £50 deducted from the fucking deposit for putting a nail up or something stupid like that. Because that is genuine, like our landlords. No, not landlords, sorry. Estate agents. I feel like that's something they would do. £50 for every nail. We now have to replaster the whole fucking place. So yeah, that's me moaning about not having a house. My headphones just went really weird then, and one of them just cut out, so it's okay, we're back in the room. So yeah, so I don't have a house. It feels like you should have a house when you're in your 30s, and it feels like you should then, I was gonna say, get children, have children. I don't feel like I'm in any of those places. All the 3 that you should be hitting when you're like in your 30s, I am nowhere near any of them, and I'm like shit, am I failing my 30s? Like, that's how it feels, because it's kind of like, well, I got to 30 and I achieved none of the things that a 30-year-old should have. But also, I don't want kids, not right now anyway. I do want them at some point, I think. And so I actually, I look at people with kids and I'm like, oh, sucks to be you. And they're like, oh, I'm so tired. 2-year-old toddler kept me awake forever. And I'm like, sounds like a you problem. My dogs sleep through the night and it's a bloody great time. I just picked something on my leg and now I'm bleeding. So that's a bad time. So, yeah, children not on the menu for now. I also think as I've become more flamboyant, might be the word, during my content creation situation, that's what I call it now apparently, and I feel like I've become maybe more childish, or I've let my inner child out a bit more. She's released into the wild. I've had to be a grown up for a long time in terms of like sorting out bills and shit, I moved out when I was 16. It's a young old age. I started cooking my own food when I was like 14 probably. So I feel like I've been grown up for a long time and I'm enjoying letting out my inner Dawny, that's what we'll call her. It's weird saying your own name, but child name. And I'm enjoying it, and she's having a good time. I don't want to put her away. I don't want to lock her up again. The issue is when you're 30, you kind of feel like you have to be a bit sensible, especially when you're a doctor. 30-year-old doctor must be sensible. And I feel like it changes my persona. I think I'm just overthinking all of this way too much, and I guess that's kind of what a podcast is, but I don't really want to overthink all of it, but that is my brain and I can't help it. So I think if I were single and in a position that I'm in now, I would probably be freaking out a lot more. That's not to say that being in a relationship when you're 30 is like necessary, but for me, I do better in relationships. I think I am more stable, I'm calmer, I'm happier. So like that's just a me thing. So I think I'd be freaking out a bit more if I was like, oh my god, I'm approaching 30 and I'm single and I'm never going to find anybody, blah, blah, blah. And that would freak me out a lot because it does feel like everyone is in a relationship. Like I remember when I was 25, before I met Tom, and I was like, why is everybody in a relationship? Literally no one is single. What is going on? And everybody starts having babies and you're like, okay, I'm getting left behind, cool. And maybe that's why it was, somewhat easier, Tom's younger, so there's, more single younger people. And I think I was 24 when I met Tom, maybe, and then maybe 25, and he was 22, and but we're only 2.5 years apart, so we're not 3 years apart, but at for half the year we are 3 years apart by age. We are 3 age years apart, but not 3 whole years, if you get what I mean. So, yeah, I think trying to find anybody that when you're 25, like trying to find anybody that's a bit older than you, that's normal, sane, and doesn't have significant amounts of baggage, i.e. a child. That was something I was definitely not looking for, with somebody with a child. And I was like, yeah, I felt like I just had to go younger. Not necessarily a bad thing, actually. If you're a lady approaching your 30s, consider going down. It's not always that bad. That makes it sound bad, but like I was always really worried about doing that. I always thought, no, I'm never going to date anybody younger than me because it's fucking no-go. But I also think if I were with somebody who were a guy who was older than me now, they might be in a completely different place to me. They might want kids and settling down, and I'm not there. I want to fucking run around naked. Like, I don't know what I want to do, but I don't want to have children. I don't want to like be boring. I just don't. So yeah, I might not be well suited to somebody who is, I think, older than me. I think Tom and I are in a similar place in terms of ageness, in terms of like, we both don't want kids, we both don't want to get married right now, we both haven't got a house, like we're both fine how we are, and that's okay. I have to keep checking and readjusting the camera because that fucker turns off. As you might know if you watch my podcast on the regs, you'll know that this fucker drinker likes to turn itself off and make my life a living nightmare. So I've already talked about life is running away from me, 30, then 40, then 50, then 60, then 70, then 80, then dead. I think the last thing I want to talk about is health problems. Fuck me. It's like we're in an OAP club right now, isn't it? When you get to your late 20s/30s, health problems start getting to you. Namely, I wouldn't call this a health problem, but it is a problem. 3-day hangovers. Oh boy, I've basically stopped drinking now because I can't handle a 3-day hangover. Definitely 2. They're definitely 2 days. Like, sometimes they branch out into 3. And when you do drink, I know drinking's not the be-all end-all of all, life situations. But when you do drink, you get reflux, and that is a bad time. And reflux is just extremely common for me right now, given that I am on Saxenda and I burp a lot. Although I'd say I burped a lot beforehand, like it's not a new phenomenon. So I definitely burp more now though, and I definitely have way more reflux than before. The other thing is I'm coming forwards, bitches. I'm coming to ya. The other thing that happens is I do think health conditions... God, I look so much better right here than I did like this before. Oh well. Oh God, it's a late one. I used to do this all the time. I used to podcast at like 12 or like 10 at night, and it used to kill me. But sometimes you have to delay the podcast because other things are happening in your life that are more important, and people need you, and people need to speak to you and have discussions. You can't just go, I'm sorry, I'm done listening to your problems and helping you because I have to go and podcast. No. Sometimes life gets in the way. I was going to do this yesterday, but I went for a bike ride instead. So, and then I couldn't be bothered afterwards. So there we go. That's what happened there. You are not invincible. And I think you start realising this when you get to 30 or late 20s anyway. And you realise that people start, I've noticed, I think cancer becomes more common, or less uncommon, I should say. Less uncommon when you reach your 30s. When you're 20, 21 or whatever, you're like, no, it's never going to be cancer. But there are more and more young people, 30, 40-year-olds especially, getting bowel cancer in particular, breast cancer. And it's something that, you got to think about. So we're not invincible, and I think you realise that at 30. Now, imagine if we just didn't count our age. I feel like that might be a great time. And I think maybe that's some of it. Maybe that's some of the advice. Like, just stop thinking about it. Stop worrying so much about it. Life is what it is, and you can't keep counting it down or counting it up, whatever you want to call it. I don't think that age really matters that much, and just embrace what you have whilst you have it and stop thinking about 2 years in the future. For fuck's sake, Dawn, you're not 30 yet. Obviously, I've got all of these considerations in my head, but I'm trying, and also I'm thinking loads of other people have gone through 30, loads of other people have gone through 40, and survived. They haven't had a breakdown. Nothing's changed. And I think we make more of a big deal of it than we realise. And if you talk to people about it, they're actually like, it was fine, like nothing changed. And you kind of realise that, I made quite a big deal out of nothing right there. But it does feel like a big deal when you're approaching it. I remember turning 20 and we would be like, halfway to 40. And that was a joke at the time, but now I'm halfway to 60. So, age is always going to be a factor until you get older, and then you just don't give a fuck. So, I don't know. If you guys are in my 30 to 44 bracket range, then please leave a comment down below. What did you do about turning 30? How did you approach it? How did you get over it? Did you freak out as much as some people do? Did you think about it? Did you not think about it? I think a lot of people would actually appreciate the advice. I don't think I've got it all sorted out, but I'm just explaining my concerns, my situation, my thoughts, and yeah, just having a good time. Although I'm quite sedate today. I'm bloody tired, okay? We've got a long day ahead of us tomorrow, so I should probably go. I've been talking for an hour now, and I still can't believe that I can talk for an hour, a whole fucking hour, on my own, non-stop, pretty much non-stop and just talk. And yes, I do go off on tangents, but also I just do it. I don't know, it's fine. I quite like it. It's like a weird zone that I get into where I just talk out loud. Okay, anyway, rambling again. Thanks so much for listening, guys. I very much appreciate you. Here's my heart from Cornwall. If you did like it, please give it a like. Thanks for everybody who's rated my podcast on Spotify. Very much appreciate you. Honestly, I'm giving out a lot of thanks today because I'm fucking thankful, and I do genuinely mean it. And it's like, it really helps out the podcast and makes people go, oh yeah, I'd quite like to listen to that too if other people have enjoyed it. So if you haven't already given it a 5-star rating, please don't give it any less. If you're not going to give it 5 stars, then just, I don't know, don't bother. But if you think there's some improvements that could be made, like, let me know. I have an email address. It's contact@diariesofatoctor.com. I do read it, sorry. Or yeah, if you're listening on YouTube, let me know in the comments down below. But otherwise, thanks for listening, and I upload every Mondays and Thursdays, and we do, I guess, self-helpy improvement stuff, but also, I don't know what to call it, just rambling through life and having a great time whilst we do it. Because if I have a great time, you're having a great time. That's the way I think about it. So yeah, it is self-helpy, self-improvement, but sometimes it's like funny stories. So yeah, you're tuning in for me. Anyway, I'm chatting shit now. Bye. Love you.